Hi, welcome to my sewing room and to a new video. This is the Valentine one. So in this one, you will see me sew a vintage apron and blouse using an authentic vintage sewing pattern, but also I'll take you behind the scenes into some of our Valentine's Day activities, the gifts that I prepared for their classmates, and the things that I did with the kids in my good intentioned attempt at being that mom. And when I say that mom, I mean that mom that really just has her stuff together, has everything planned out, and goes about making the holiday super special for her kids while also making it very aesthetic for the internet. And so I'm not disparaging those moms. As you can see, I'm attempting to be one. But for me, I just have to know and accept that I will never get it perfect. I will always bite off more than I can chew. I will start and not complete things, and that happens, and that's okay too. But my kids truly enjoyed the holiday. I really enjoyed making this apron and the blouse and the crafts and activities that I did with my kids. So it was a very fun day. My intentions are the same as every other mom, and that's to make things as special and as memorable for my kids as I can. And so that's what I did. I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you do, let me know in the comment box below, and I will do more of them. More of these videos in which I bake and sew and take you behind the scenes a little bit into the things that I do with my kids to create these special memories for them. And so that's the main reason why I like this style of video, because the thought of my kids finding this here one day on the internet really makes me happy. It's basically a home movie of sorts, just put together to look really nice. That makes me appreciate this style of video and the time that it takes to make those. So either way, let me know what you think in the comment box below. So with all of that said, let's now watch my family's vintage Valentine's Day. I'm using an authentic vintage McCall's sewing pattern for this make. This pattern is for a vintage style apron with a blouse to go underneath. And I'm going to be using some really cheesy Valentine's Day fabrics. For the apron and the shirt, I'm using two different ones, but I'm going to use the same one on the blouse that I use on these really big deep pockets here. And then the apron itself will be a separate fabric. So first thing I do is get started cutting out the bib. This is a pretty simple straight through assignment. It shouldn't be very hard to get done at all. This will actually be my third apron. I did my very first one when I first started sewing vintage for YouTube. I think it was like my second video I ever made, and when I was almost done with it, I cut a hole in it, and so I'll link that video if you want to see it. And then my second apron was for the 1940s Friendsgiving, and it has just a really fall theme, and I will link that as well. So I'm cutting out the fabric now. I actually pulled this pattern over because I didn't want to waste the few extra inches that were on the yardage, so I just kept them on here and just moved everything over. This seam line was a little bit different, and so I just wanted to make note to pay attention to that. This is where the opening is in the back. And then here I am tracing on the pockets. I'm using one of those water soluble markers to do this, which later ended up being super weird. I kind of starched them out when I was ironing, but then they would later reappear when the heat from the iron would get to the markings. It was just super weird. And so next time I think I will stick to the other end of this pen, which is like just disappearing ink after a certain amount of time. And so then here I am cutting out the pockets, and we are moving right along. I had this pink rickrack in my stash, and I really wanted to use it. I thought it would be a really cute little addition to this apron and blouse, and so I put it on the pockets, and I ended up adding it around the neckline of the bib as well. I at first was reluctant to spend so much time doing something that's just for one day, but the way I'm looking at it is I will wear this set every Valentine's Day from now until I can't fit it anymore. And so I do think it was worth the investment, along with some of the things that I purchased to sort of make the holiday special for the kids. I'm going to put it all away together, and then next year I'll be able to pull it all out on Valentine's Day and not have to make these purchases or make this set again. So it's an investment of time.
Whoa! It's right? In the dinosaur. A dinosaur. He outside.
I was off to a really good start. I was really ahead of schedule, and then this happened, and the kids were home for a few days, and so that definitely threw everything off. I have to entertain them and feed them and tend to them, and so I don't get as much sewing done as I would like. And so that happened, and it seems once I get thrown off from a project, it's sometimes hard to get back into it. Let me know in the comments if this happens to you, and if so, like, how do you get back into the groove of a project that you've put down for a little while, or just any tips for that, because I definitely got behind. And I'm also working on another project as well, but that I sort of put aside to do this Valentine project that I thought would be done so quickly. And when that didn't happen, both of the projects were running far behind, and I got sick. There was so many other things happening, and so I'm looking forward to learning how to budget my time better and find more time for the things that I love to do, which are mostly sewing or sewing related, or reading an old book or something along those lines. I'm working on attaching the waistband to the bib, which is something my brain can't always understand, but I think you kind of sandwich it in between here, and then somehow this is gonna all turn out right, and then we're gonna attach the skirt to it. So this waistband, attaching the skirt to the waistband, was really the most difficult part of this project. It was a little wonky. I couldn't quite figure it out at first, but once I did, it all made sense, and I was able to get this done fairly quickly. How I overcame my reluctancy with this project was I did the blouse mostly off camera. And I realized that as much as I love filming for YouTube and making these videos, that sewing is my first love. And so sometimes I need to do that without having to film it or think about the aesthetics of it or moving a camera around and all of those things. And so this is the blouse, and I sewed, like I said, I sewed it mostly off camera, and I'm fine with that. so with the baking started, I decided to work on some of the decor that I have for their table. We're going to be having a Valentine's breakfast in the morning before school with heart-shaped waffles. And so I wanted to do a really nice table for them. So I thought I'd start working on that, the centerpiece. So I pulled out my bags. I really love these bags. I have a couple different Audrey Hepburn ones and some sewing machine ones and sewing notion ones. They are super sturdy and handy. I usually keep some in my car for whenever I'm out. I have to stop at the market or whatever, and they really come in handy. I'll leave a link for you guys in the description box if you want to check these out, because there's so many cute sewing related as well as vintage related ones that I think you'll really love. And so I worked on the centerpiece. That was my first thing I did. I love how the centerpiece turned out, and once I was finished with it, I started to work on the gifts that the kids would be giving the next day at school. And so because of the current state of things, you can't give baked goods or any kind of food or anything that's been like prepared or processed at home. And so I had to get creative with what we gave this year. And I really liked my selections. I liked being able to give all the kids in Major's class a box of crayons with these really cute wishing you a colorful Valentine's Day stickers on there. And then my absolute favorite was these bags of chips with the sticker that says you are all that in a bag of chips. And so I thought that was super adorable. Let me know what you think about it or what you did for your kids, friends, gifts, and any suggestions you have onto the gift giving for the kids at school. So once I had all of that prepared, it was time to start the kids' painting projects that we'll be using to decorate the table, as well as for their backdrop for their Valentine's pictures that I'm going to be taking. And so they painted these really cute X's and O's and hearts that I picked up at Target. And I really liked that activity. They really seemed to enjoy that activity. So that's what they did.
I know you've heard it all before, but you are the love of my life. I knew when you came through the door that you are the love of my life.
When they were done painting, it was time to decorate cookies and cupcakes, and they enjoyed this the most. And so I had kind of like a stack of things that were safe to eat, I was calling them, like for my husband and my parents who came over, things that kiddos hadn't licked. So I had like what's safe to eat and what's just decoration, basically, because they really went overboard with some of their decorating and they really enjoyed it. We had all of the sprinkles and the different color icings, and they just really enjoyed this activity, even though they made most of the things not edible.
Nothing's hard, everything is easy with you around. No bombards, everything is easy when you come around. Hold on now.
If you're wondering how long it took me to clean up all of these sprinkles and glitter it was a long time. And so I decided to make myself a drink. I had this really cute heart-shaped ice. Like, I mean, I really took the theme there this year. I had really, really good intentions, even though all of it didn't come out as I expected or had hoped it would, and I didn't get to everything. It was my intention that mattered, I guess, and the kids really enjoyed themselves. And I really thought this ice was so cute and just a really cool touch. So I had myself some watermelon juice after I spent an hour cleaning up confetti, heart-shaped glitter, and sprinkles.
Most handsome man I'd ever seen. I said, you must be the love of my life. Hold on now.
This cute little tiered cake stand or cupcake stand was also from Target. I thought it was so cute and it was really inexpensive, and so I look forward to having this on the table every Valentine's Day from here on out. And so I thought it was a really cool touch, and these cupcakes were safe to eat. So I have all of these things. I got a table runner and tablecloths and napkins and straws, kitchen towels. I bought some pillows and then a blanket to sort of use for them to sit on that I was going to take pictures of them on, and balloons to blow up, and pretty silverware, and all of these things that I was going to use to set the table and make them heart-shaped waffles for breakfast.
Before, but you are the love of my life.
Hey guys, don't throw the pillow.
I knew when you came through the door that you are the love of my life.
Aww.
Wasn't it?
Nothing's hard.
What did you just say? A pig. I am
Around.
Now I can beat the master.
It's easy when you come around. Hold on now. I remember